Hello and welcome to the Empress podcast. I am your host, Jessica, known in the online space as Jess the Empress. I started this podcast to help you be present with yourself, cope with chaos, and simplify your life. I do this by combining psychology, behavioral science, and the tarot. I have a background in mental health, specifically a master's in clinical social work from USC, and I'm a professional tarot reader. So get ready to have a nurturing, creative, and empowering experience with me as we use practical magic. What's up, friends? You guys are going to see a different type of episode today. I am actually recording a session with a client, and I'm really excited because this will give you insight on my style of reading, the types of questions that are asked in a session, and really what a session flow can look like. I know a lot of you have those questions. If you're curious about booking, if you've wanted to book with me, but you're hesitant because you don't know how it's going to go, I hope that this episode gives you clarity. And I also hope that you just get some really nice tidbits of information from everything that we go over. So without further ado, here is the session with Emily and I. Okay, the recording is happening. So welcome. Hi.
Hi. Hello. Happy to be here.
I know. I'm super stoked to read for you. So I know when we were chatting beforehand, we were wondering what area that you wanted to focus on. So did you come up with a question or was it a general thing that you wanted?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot this morning, and there's really nothing specific. Maybe just I've been getting a lot of messages oh, what are my long-term plans? What's I have this job and I have this foundation, but am I really serving the community, and how can I do that besides just serving myself by paying my bills? What's my purpose out in the world, out in the community? That's what I've been kind of dabbling with.
Love that. These big life questions.
Yeah.
Nothing
too crazy.
I love it. All right, let's pull some cards and let's just see what the vibe is. I don't know if the card shuffling is gonna come up on the screen on camera, but we're gonna hear it in the background. But let's see. I like your necklace too.
Thank you.
E for Emily.
So I love yours.
Thank you. I had this ages ago and then I lost it or misplaced it. I don't know what I did. And then I rebought it. I got it off Amazon, but it's like a bone carved piece. Okay, this card flew out. Let me see what else we get. This card flipped over. Oh God. When was the last time you had a reading?
It had to be at least a year.
Okay.
And I used to get them regularly, but I haven't felt the need.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes we just have to be in our own zone. Okay. So your cards, you're going to be like, what the hell? Okay. So this card flew out, the star.
Okay.
So this is ruled by Aquarius, the Tower, Mars vibes, the Page of Wands, and then the Chariot. So it's ruled by Cancer. So you have big arcana energy coming through. But this is what I love, because when you get a major arcana card or multiple majors, it's these are just the energies around you, and spirit is I'm not really asking you to do anything, but what I am asking in a sense is just pay attention, because this is what's out of your control. That's what I love about major arcana cards. They're this is larger than you. Minor cards, I read them as this is what you can control. So this is where I want you to focus. So what I see with the star card is you are figuring it out. This is the card with Aquarian. You have this humanitarian heart. You want to make a social impact. We already know
I
this,
am an
right?
Aquarius.
Oh, you are an Aquarius. Oh
I
my God,
am.
stop. I did
Well, my
not know
sun
that.
sign. Yeah.
Stop.
Yes.
We love it. This is the shit I can't make up. Okay, so
And didn't isn't Pluto in Aquarius, and that's all about like collective changes, right?
exactly. Right. I love this. So
Yeah.
with the star, we have this idea of hopefulness. And we also have this, we have to be in reality because if we're too far out of it, then we're actually like not helping anybody. So we can't be too far ahead. Your life in review and where you're at honestly makes a lot of sense to me. To me, this reading might be more confirmational than anything else, but the
Hmm.
star is like, you're reviewing for a reason. Like, you also know that if you're not pouring into yourself, then you cannot pour out into other people. So, defining what pouring into yourself looks like is where you're supposed to be. Because why
Hmm.
jump in and do something and then be burned out, be tired, be frantic, be frustrated? Why? You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
You're getting the clarity you need right now to design your day to day so that way it does have the impact that you want it to have. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that resonates.
Love
Yeah.
this. The
Yes.
Tower card. Okay, first of all, what's your relationship with the Tower card? Can we just hop into that for a second?
Yes. Not to get into it, but I mean the last 13 years of my life, specifically the last 3 have been very transformative, and it's all
Okay.
been like um I've had to learn through the tower card energy. Like I've had to
Yeah.
learn the hard way for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Love it.
Hmm.
So Tower is ruled by Mars, and this is your drive, your willpower, your sexual energy. It's the god of war, but it doesn't have to be this thing where you're at war with life if you rally the right way. So as you know, you can jump out of the tower before like, it crumbles kind of thing, but you
Yes.
also you have a foundation to stand on. These moments of enlightenment, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to say like, okay, let me come into my center, which is your foundation, because really, who do we have at the end of the day if not ourselves, right? So bringing
Hmm.
it home
Hmm.
to you, first remembering like you're very capable. You're very intelligent. You can learn as you
Hmm.
go. You don't have to know everything along the way. And the reality is like no matter how many times you plan for things, the shit's going to fall apart. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's because you didn't plan well enough. There's something wrong with you. You're under attack. The universe is out to get you. That might be the
Hmm. Hmm.
meaning that you make of things. And I'm not saying you are, but I'm just offering you this option to say, where can you be in less resistance with things falling apart? And where can you shift and see this as an opportunity to say, well, let me just like gather myself, gather my senses, be in my own space, and then use whatever anger and rage and frustration I have to benefit me instead of tearing myself down. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like redirecting the flow of the emotion.
Yeah, instead of fighting against it, going with what's going on, going with the
Hmm.
flow.
Which is
Gotcha.
hard.
Yeah.
Like I had so much easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. No,
What do you
I think I'm getting into that space. Like
Okay,
that's
okay.
where I'm at right now is finally things are good and I have the solid foundation for myself. And now I'm like kind of waiting for a ball to drop, but then that's like, you
Love it.
know, whatever that is. Not sure where that's
No,
come from.
that's
I
just
guess it's like,
ego. Which is not a problem. Let's talk about it because the tower's here for a reason. This is again the relationship you're having with your will, with your drive, which is connected to your ego.
yes,
No
yes.
matter what level you get to, this is always going to pop up. It's your relationship with it that is either a problem or it's either helpful or hurtful. When you're
I
at the
see.
top of your game, doesn't matter. 10 years from now, you're going to have a new level. You're going to have a new devil. It's just the
Hmm.
way it is. Mars isn't saying like, this is a problem. Again, it's saying, well, when shit falls apart, how do you respond? How do you respond with yourself? What are the
Hmm.
stories that you make about shit falling apart?
Oh my gosh.
That's the
That's so
connection.
good.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there isn't anything that you like you can really handle it. You really, really can. I just keep getting this like, is it like when you're waiting for the ball to drop kind of thing? Are you literally holding your breath, or is it just a mental thing of like, I'm like a little bit like hesitant? What is it?
Um, no, I'm not hesitant in any
Okay.
way. I think it is just a sense of holding my breath, a little bit of anxiety, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, waiting for something bad to come out and steal, like, I guess, like a fear of something coming in and taking like
Mm-hmm.
everything that I just worked so hard to build.
Yeah. We all
Hmm.
have it. So first of all, let me just
Yeah.
like normalize that. It's like very because it's what the brain does. It's what the ego does. It just wants to protect what you've worked hard for because
Hmm.
it wants what it wants. Like that's totally fine.
Yeah.
So just I would say the homework here then would be journaling around that, not making it a problem. That narrative and that's not an issue. See if you can also
Hmm.
flip the anxiety to anticipation and
Like getting
do.
excited for the future
And yeah, that you don't, I mean, you don't
rather.
have to, like, you already have the feeling of anxiety, but instead of when you're labeling it, instead of labeling it anxiety, you can label it anticipation.
Okay.
Because you don't have to be excited about it. I know that can be like a challenging thing for a lot of people. So I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on you to feel like you have to like buck up and be like, I'm excited when you're not. Like that could actually be like a
Yeah.
waste of energy. But more so when you're feeling the anxiety, just say like, oh, you know what? I'm anticipating some things to come and I don't know what's on the way, but what if it's good? And
Right.
just
Like
kind of leaving it. Mhm.
restructuring my mind around that,
And
my
take a deep
relationship with
breath.
it. Gotcha.
Take a deep breath. Because
No,
it's like,
seriously, I hold my breath all day. Like I actually have to tune in and tell
yeah,
myself to breathe. Yeah.
girl, you and everyone
Hmm.
else. I mean, with
Yeah.
with the chaos of the world, with the news, with policies changing, with the world coming at us so rapidly, I don't know anyone who isn't holding their breath.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing.
Hmm.
You're really just putting your ego in a different place and just being like, thank you so much for being here. We know that we've been through some things together, but I'm going to see you through this
Mm.
next phase in a totally different way. Like, I've got you, I've got your
Mm.
back. So, again, that Mars energy, instead of using the energy to sort of force an external thing, you're more so using your energy and your willpower to just reframe the inner narrative and coming home a little further to yourself. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. I
Love
feel
it.
that.
Yay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
So,
feel that. Hmm.
Page of Wands is more of your day-to-day energy. And actually, this tracks because with pages, you have being really grounded or as grounded as you can be. So, I want you to look at the ways that you're getting a little thrown off track. If you kind of do like a day to day review, what is stealing your energy or what's pulling you away from a sense of being grounded? That is what you have to just lessen in your day to day life. I'm not saying you need to totally, like drop it completely, but with the
Hmm.
page, it's like there are other things that you can focus on that might be a little bit more on track with what you're really aiming for because wands are fire energy like the tower and the wand card we have a lot of fire
Hmm.
so it's using your creative energy in a way that is in alignment with your goals. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Hmm.
So like
Hmm.
what have you been up to on the day to day, like what's that look like?
Yeah, yesterday I was just telling someone that I needed more play in my life,
Oh, I
that
love
I
this.
need to tap into my creativeness, my creative
Mm-hmm,
side,
mm-hmm,
because yes, I finally have this solid foundation, this work,
mm-hmm,
but it's not fulfilling me, obviously.
mm-hmm,
So my day to day, I have like a morning ritual. I wake up, water, coffee,
mm-hmm,
breath.
Hmm.
movement. I nourish my body. I eat. Um, I get ready for the day. So I'm not just kind of hanging around in my
Hmm.
jammies, you know.
Hmm.
We get outside, and I work. That's kind of my day.
Okay. So you want
Um,
more fun in your day.
yeah,
Cool. I
for
love
sure.
this. So the goal is to
And I
add
have
more
tons of
fun.
ideas. I have tons of
Okay.
ideas, you know.
Okay. Wait, what's
So
stopping you from like taking action?
I don't know. I think it's because I have so many ideas and I'm like, but which one is mine? Like, you know?
You'll know when you try. You'll know because you'll try it and you
Yeah.
won't like it and you're like, "Oh, this isn't actually my idea. I'm going to move on." So with
Yeah,
this,
the trial and error.
100% give yourself permission to be
Yeah.
trial and error. Pages are childlike energy. You would never set a kid up and be like, you wouldn't set them up with a workload that you do with an adult. You just don't. Like children are here to
Yeah.
explore. They're here to figure it out as they go. Like I don't know any kid that really is like, I'm gonna wake up and here's my whole day plan. Like that's not kid shit.
Yeah.
And like we offer them things, but what we love about kids is they're so raw, right? Like they'll be
Hmm.
playing with a toy and then they're like, I'm done. They'll leave it in the middle of the room, go to the other room, and they'll do this. They'll grab pots
Hmm.
and pans, like whatever. The essence here is to embody that energy of trial and error because who cares? At the end of the day, who gives a
Hmm.
shit? You're closer to getting what you want through trial and error than not trying at all.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. Get out of your head.
I know. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
I
It
need to
traps
write
us
that on my
all.
mirror.
Right, because I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, the action is better than no action.
Yeah. And it's
Knowing
like,
what you don't
okay,
like. Hmm.
you have to take that first step. And I think that's what keeps me back is like, what even is that first step? But it's so
Hmm.
simple. It's just picking up the craft or picking up the piano or picking up the roller skates, like whatever
Yeah,
it is, like it's very simple.
it is. Cancer energy tells me like you need to nurture a feeling of safety.
Hmm.
Feeling safe is what will allow you to make your steps. And it's not like you have to do more. It's more like
Mm,
just really touching in with yourself and reminding yourself that the steps you take, it's fine. What is the worst thing that happens if you try 15 hobbies this week and you don't like any of them? What's the worst that
hmm.
happens? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing really bad is actually going to happen. So
Yeah.
kind of just like tapping into that piece. And I love this because like look at yourself like a friend or like a kiddo, because this is like that inner work of like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
we're the adult part's coming in too much. You want the childlike energy. You want the play.
Yeah.
And this I think is going to give you what you're looking for because let's be real, you and hundreds of thousands of other people don't necessarily get play and satisfaction from work. Like it's
Hmm.
fine. You don't need to, but you need to have it in your life and you know that you want to figure
Hmm.
out where you can place that. So you're
Yeah.
creating space to find what that thing is. It's about having the balance. It's not necessarily about making work be something that it just might not be. You have bills to pay. Like you have to be real, like, and we
Hmm.
also don't want to push people into this idea that like their work has to be meaningful. It doesn't. So many people find play and pleasure, excitement, fun, and meaning, humanitarian things outside of whatever it is that their job description is. And that can absolutely be an option for you. So don't feel like you have to force your work to be something that satisfies you. You're totally fine if not. But you deserve satisfaction in your life. So this is where you're working on implementing it. The chariot is very much of like you're getting to some super sweet stuff, right? Like you need to nurture, but it also might feel a little vulnerable to go a little deeper. That's the crab, Cancerian energy. But
Hmm.
that's sort of like where you need to go right now. The chariot, the
Hmm.
energy is speaking and saying like you're being pushed here because what you've been doing, you've outgrown it.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh,
you're a
I
little
feel that.
crab, you're a little vulnerable right now because you're like between
Yeah.
shells, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
you need to be really tender with yourself because you just haven't found that thing. So nothing is going to, putting more pressure on yourself is not going to help you find the thing. Again, it's like
Hmm.
safety and softness and
Hmm.
kindness and compassion. Those are the things that'll help you explore and try on the different shells and then get really cozy in the one that you want to kind of hang out in for a little while in the next phase. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, it
it.
does. Yes.
Yay. So I think we're almost at our mark. Yeah. So how are you feeling about the reading?
It's so good. It resonates. It hits home. Yeah, it hits the heart.
Oh,
I always love your readings. I
you're
love
so sweet.
just hearing your insight and your wisdom. It's very grounding, and you have
Good.
that energy, that comforting, safe
Oh,
energy. I feel that very much. So
made me
thank you.
cry. Thank you. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. Oh, I feel like that's such a huge reflection. Safety is so, it's what we need.
Yes.
I
And
feel like we, mhm. Good.
I was going to say, I feel like my little Emily,
Mm-hmm.
she never had safety. And like my whole
Mm-hmm.
life so far has been me trying to find that for myself. And now I'm at this point
Mm-hmm.
that you just confirmed for me where it's like, I am good. And now
Yeah,
I
so
can
good.
just give myself compassion and
Yes.
safety
Operate.
and
Yeah. Bring it on home. Instead of
mhm,
thinking, where do I find it? Operate under the assumption that you're safe.
yeah,
It's a huge assumption to make, but it's like the best one. You know what I mean? Why not just
yeah,
assume like you're safe? Why
yeah.
not assume you're not the best of the best? You're the safest of the safest. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
swear things are going to level up for you if you like literally embody that on the day to day and just challenge yourself and be like, oh, you know what? I'm actually fine.
Yeah.
Assume you're worthy, assume that like the whole finding the worthiness and doing the worthiness and the safety thing, like what if that's a step you don't even need to do because you're already there? Oh, so juicy.
I just need to embody it. I get it. I hear you.
You're
Hmm.
doing great.
I appreciate you.
I love
Yeah,
you
this
and I
this has
appreciate
been
you.
amazing.
Yay. All right, cool. I am going to stop the record button, but I just want to thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of
This is,
course.
like I said, it's been very confirming. So thank
Yay.
you. It's
Love
exactly what I
it.
needed to hear, which is
Yay.
why I love tarot.
I know, me too. It's so
Yeah,
good. Hell
yeah.
yeah. All right. All right, loves, that concludes today's episode. Again, I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you've gained some insight and some helpful tidbits from this session with Emily and I. I will talk to you soon. Bye.